Hi, it's Lindsay Marie from The Simple Meal Designer here with you today on the Meal Plan Makeover Show. I have my guest, Spring, with us today. She is here to help me inspire you to create a meal plan in a way that is fun and full of grace and that doesn't have to be hard, and really just see what it shifts and changes in your energy when you can take what's in your head and put it onto paper and make it nothing more than that, nothing more complicated. That meal planning really can be simple if you say so. So we're going to use Spring as an example. And first, I want to welcome you, Spring. How's it going?
Thank you. It's going all right. It's going to be better in an hour.
Look, she's in her kitchen. I love that she's in her kitchen. I've told her this like 4 times now. but why don't you tell us a little bit about your family, who you're feeding, and describe a little bit about your diet so people can connect with you.
All right. Well, my name is Spring, and I have 3 children. One is away at college. He's only here 1 meal a week. And then we have a 14-year-old and an 11-year-old daughter, or 2 daughters. We live with my mother-in-law. We live with my mother. We moved back to the United States officially about 2 months ago. We've been living in Spain for the last 9 years. My husband works for an ONG. For a nonprofit organization. And so we moved back here. We live with my mom. My mom has an apartment underneath her house. So she lives upstairs and we live downstairs. But we've decided to share our mealtime together because it's more fun with all of us together. So I don't really use this kitchen almost at all. We're eating upstairs with Mom. Our stuff is going to be arriving Monday or so this next week. So then life will get a little bit more like it feels like it's us. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of food issues in our family. In the past, we've been super, super, super strict. It all had to be homemade. Everything had to be from scratch. All kinds of things. Now we're down to really trying to eat dairy-free and wheat-free and go occasionally light on the corn. That's our thing. But I still want to eat homemade foods and not as many processed foods. Coming back to America where everything is available and processed, it's really easy to slide into just eating gluten-free crackers and gluten-free bread, which I don't feel like has a lot of nutrition compared to making your own homemade from fresh grains, which is how I have done things in the past. But I don't have the energy because we moved here back to Minnesota, partly because my mother-in-law has cancer, my sister-in-law has cancer, my brother-in-law has a severe eating disorder, or eating trouble with his digestive system. He's handicapped. And we just want to be available for them. And in a big transition, the thing that always goes out the window for me every single time we move is food. Mm-hmm. And it's been out of sync for me. It's probably been out of sync for me for about 2.5 years. I don't feel like I can menu plan. I can get 2 meals. I can go grocery shopping for 2 meals. I can make a plan for 2 meals. I can't seem to think any further than that. So I've tended to make a big pot of chili and we just eat it for 3 days. I'm not really proud of that. My family's really flexible and I appreciate that about them. But I'd like to make a big pot of chili, put it in the fridge, and a big pot of soup, and then every other or something like that instead of and then we can't repeat it the next week because we're all super sick of it. Right. So that's who we are. And one of my goals is to have more time with our extended family. And so once or twice a month, 2 to 4 times a month to eat a meal together with them. But that requires us bringing all the food. And on that side of the family, there's diabetes and lots of heartburn. And Mom really is struggling with the smells of onions and garlic and things like that. So we're trying to find foods that will make everybody on that side of the family content and still fit everybody else, but be really easy. So that's kind of...
So yeah. I'm hearing you say a couple things, and that what's working really, whether you like it or not, that batch cooking is working.
It is.
And what's not working would be really, you're not getting the variety that you want. You're not getting the quality that you want. You're kind of falling back into habits that you thought you were out of a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And I just want to acknowledge you still that in the transition, you're still making the pots of chili or the pots of soup or whatever. Like there's many people, including myself, who've been in major transition, remodeling houses, not having kitchens available. And it's like, I don't even have the energy to like figure out what I'm going to cook. So I'm just going to go buy a pizza. You know, like it's pizza. Like that was.
Well, we've been there. We've been there.
Sandwiches all the time when my house was getting remodeled, and was in that transition stage, and just not like what I learned in that time that served me the most was to be gentle with myself, and that it's a season, and I know how I want to eat, and I know I'm going to get back to that. But right now, in order to stay happy and healthful and joyful, like I get to be gentle with myself and just eat pizza and sandwiches a few times a week, even though it wasn't the ideal in the moment. So way to go. I'm making soup and chili. I don't even know if I really even got that far. So another thing.
Well, I'm into it a ways now.
Yeah. I want to there's a lot of people in our country that don't have the experience that you have of going from country to country to country. So like, can you elaborate a little more on your experience between, say, living in Spain and what's available in Spain versus how easy it is in our culture to fall into things, again, with the purpose of like, just recognize that this is the environment that Americans live in, and that it's not an excuse to keep living this way, but it is a really real struggle in this country, and like how it's different in Spain. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, it's growing more and more. Like stores in Spain are more like they are in America than they were 9 years ago when we moved there. There's a lot more convenience foods. There's a lot more of that. But the difference for me isn't so much how it was in Spain and how it is in America. It was how my family reacted to food. So my family couldn't eat stuff. They got really sick. My husband wasn't able to work. My daughter couldn't sleep. She couldn't ever sit still. They just had a lot of issues with food. And so I had to eat fresh fruits and vegetables, fresh meats that didn't have a lot of additives. Here, even in the grocery store, you can get good meat. Like you can get 100% beef in Aldi. In our store like Aldi that we had, and in my grocery store, our 100% beef had all kinds of filler in it. It wasn't just ground meat. So here you have really good meats, even in the grocery store. And I know they have, other not organic and that kind of a thing, but there's good meat available here, which we didn't have as much really good meat available unless we went to a butcher, which was wonderful. And our fruits and vegetables were amazing there. They were really fresh. They were grown in country, like a couple of, an hour from me. There were greenhouses everywhere that grew everything. So we had really good fruits and vegetables. Here, I feel like the fruits and vegetables are a lot more limited, and they're a little bit less flavorful, except in season. But I'm in Minnesota. Like the season is over. Everything has to come from somewhere else, except pumpkins. We got lots of amazing pumpkins and apples.
You got lots of squash right now.
Lots of squash. So I did buy squash. And there they don't really know about squash very much. A little bit. But so and here so much is available. And I love that food. That's my food from my childhood. Like I see Captain Crunch. Whoa, I love to eat Captain Crunch. I don't want my children to eat Captain Crunch. No. But it's where I want to go to that, they talk about the outside of the store where it's the produce and the meats and the vegetables and that on the outside of the store. And the inside is where there's all that processed food. And so eat from the outsides. I've been trying to do that, but I gravitate towards the inside because I miss all those foods.
Yeah.
So that's one way that it's different. And so now my family doesn't need to eat as carefully as they did. It may return. They're kind of healthy right now. Usually, anyway, they're healthy right now. And so I don't want to overdo it on the processed food, on the breads, and all the yummy food that is really processed.
Right.
I want to keep them healthy.
Of course. So let's get that stuff out of your head and what you're actually doing right now, and see like really how quote unquote bad it really is after you put it down. Like maybe it's not as bad as you think. Maybe you're eating it more than you think. We don't know till we actually see the picture. Right.
Okay.
And then we can go from there on where's the best place to make the first change and keep it simple. And really what I want to do is just fly through this, because it's really not about planning to an ideal right now. It's about taking real life into consideration and putting what you're actually doing and how you're actually eating onto paper. Because the truth is, you look beautiful, you're healthy, you're alive, you seem happy and joyful. Like you are nourishing your body right now with, even
somewhat
in you're in somehow. So we're just going to take that, put it on paper, because that's the first step. It's just acknowledging where we're at.
Okay.
So I am going to share my screen so that we can be most efficient at this. And I think I should turn into like a little picture somewhere.
Okay, I see you.
Awesome. Okay, so we're just going to fly through this. I'm going to ask you kind of what you eat for each of these meals, and I'm just going to fill it in and take notes as you go. So what are you eating typically as a family? Now, when you're thinking of this, think about all the people you're feeding. Like do you only eat dinner with your mom, or is it all the meals?
We eat lunch and dinner together, and breakfast she does independently.
So keep her in mind when you're doing lunch and dinner. And then you said you travel sometimes to take extended family members' food, right?
Yeah, we're trying to eat together as a family. Yeah. Sometimes we did it once a week previously, and we'd like to do that again, but it's been a lot of preparation, and then both my sister-in-law felt like we couldn't handle it, so we sort of stopped. But we're missing that family time. Yeah. Because there has to be a meal involved. So we're trying to figure out, we each have to drive 45 minutes. So there has to be a meal. You can't visit for 2 hours.
Right. Yeah. All right. So let's start with breakfast. What do you eat typically for breakfast?
My children eat cereal, which I'm not really proud of.
It's all right.
And they get their own, they use almond milk or cashew milk and some dairy milk. What else do we eat for breakfast? It's kind of been the staple to just let everybody eat cereal. So talking about like we eat our dinners are going a little better than our breakfast. But I, in a way, don't even want to touch breakfast because it's working and everybody's eating and we're getting out the door. We also eat fruits at breakfast. Bananas, grapes, mostly bananas and grapes for breakfast. Okay. What else do we do for breakfast? It's gotten really simple. And back in Spain, I cooked breakfast every day. Like I had a long list of breakfast foods, and we made oatmeal and pancakes and granola and muffins and things that were all friendly, like wheat-free, dairy-free. So they were really hard to make. It's not like you just whip them up.
They weren't.
And that's where,
right. So pretty much every day you're having cereal with milk and fruit.
Yeah. On Monday mornings we have pancakes. Awesome. Because we have pancakes for supper on Sunday nights, and I make enough to have leftover and like fry them again the next morning.
Got it. So do you still have the milk and the grapes on that day, or do you have something different?
We really do.
All right.
No, we don't have milk. We don't have milk.
Okay. Then what about lunches?
Lunches, I am blessed with really independent girls who are willing to do their own lunches, and they've been doing them I told them they had to when they were in kindergarten, and they just think they do and don't ever think that mom is going to pack them a lunch. But it's gotten really lame because I'm not providing things. I'm used to make these wonderful muffins and fresh things that they would take in their lunches, and now I'm not making anything. So their lunches consist of cheese sticks, yogurt, one with dairy, one without dairy, granola bars, sandwiches. What else do the girls have? Oh, they always have some kind of fruits, some kind of veggies, carrot sticks, cucumber, red pepper.
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I going too fast?
Nope.
Fruit and veggie.
Nope. So do they have all this stuff in one day, or
usually they do like a version of that.
Okay.
In the day. My one daughter is 14 and she's growing, so she's really hungry. Mm-hmm. So her lunch is bigger than the other one. She'll add like more different kinds of fruits and veggies, more different things. Okay, we don't eat the same on Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay.
Lunches on Saturdays and Sundays are different.
So what do you do on Saturday?
There isn't a plan.
There we go. What does it normally end up being? Leftovers, going out?
No, we don't go out. It tends to be, it might actually wind up being the same kinds of foods, just nobody puts them in a lunchbox. You just grab them.
So you're still making sandwiches and like snacking on cheese and
that's really not my ideal. But they're like, can I have a cheese stick? Because we were like 4 and never allowed to eat prepackaged food in the house. Those were things for when you're going to go out. And I'm like, oh, sure, go ahead. And can I have a second bagel? I already had one today. Sure, because I don't have a plan. So
that's all right. So between breakfast and lunch, what I'm hearing you say is that you'd rather tackle lunch than breakfast if you had to tackle one or the other.
Yeah.
So
I should say that on Sundays, lunchtime, we have a big meal, usually something in a crock pot, something cooked in the oven, something. We get home about 1:30 or so from church and we're all hungry.
Got it. So you stick something in the crock pot in the morning and then it's ready. That's the ideal.
That's the ideal, and we're not doing that. We get home and cook and then eat around 2 or 3.
Okay. So you still do like a crock pot thing though? Or not?
That's a soup or a stew or maybe burgers or a meat. It's a hearty meal.
Okay. So we'll put stew for now because that sounds most, and then later, like in the future, the parking lot is, the goal is like crock pot meal Sunday morning.
Yeah. Actually, Sundays and Thursdays and sometimes Wednesdays, we really need to have food ready to go. That could be cooking.
For dinner?
Yeah, for dinner.
Okay. So let's talk about dinner.
Okay.
On Sundays, you said Sundays, and what days do you have to have something
Sundays,
else with?
Wednesdays, and Thursdays. We have company every Thursday. My uncle comes over, and I want to cook a good meal for him. So and we always eat better.
What was that?
We always eat better when you have company, right?
Right.
So we have my uncle over. He's single, and so we have him over and cook something like, what did we make? We made zuppa Toscana this week.
I don't even know how to spell that.
Oh, Zuppa and Toscana Tosca.
Oh, got it. Yep.
That Olive Garden recipe.
Yeah. That's where my mind went right away. I was like, oh, Olive Garden.
That's it. That. But don't think that because we don't serve breadsticks. When I go to Olive Garden, I eat the breadsticks.
Right.
At home, we don't. So,
all right. So you like to do, let's just say this particular week you're going to do that. What else goes with the soup?
Like crackers. I have been giving him bread. Mm-hmm. I don't really do anything. When I serve a soup or a stew, I don't really need to very much with it. Good. Most now because of the whole wheat thing, I just sort of I trained my family to not think you had to have bread with soup, which I didn't grow up with, and I miss the bread and the biscuits a lot.
Okay.
So either crackers or bread, not together.
Oh, okay. Got it. And then on Wednesdays, when it needs to be quick, what's that about?
That is, what could we make on a Wednesday? It should be a soup, also like so those three days, Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday, really need to be a soup or a stew because that's kind of like the fastest.
Or pancakes?
Oh, sorry. So in Spain, your main meal is at 2.
Okay.
it's in the middle of the day. So I still haven't made the switch that our main meal is in the evening. On Sundays, it's at, like 2.
Right.
But
so this shouldn't really be, this is like your, okay.
It's dinner. You can call it dinner. I mean, it's our dinner.
Okay.
So
do you have another thing after pancakes on Sundays?
Pancakes on Sundays, we usually eat some kind of sausage or bacon or something with them. And we do have fruit, and we often have yogurt. If we can find some inexpensive non-dairy yogurt.
Yeah.
And eggs. Sometimes we cook eggs with pancakes.
Okay. So is this all the things you eat on Sunday, or am I missing a meal?
No.
That's everything?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you make a soup on Wednesdays and a soup on Thursdays, because it's just easy and quick to throw together and have ready.
Yeah.
All right. So then you're left with 4 days where you're kind of like up in the air. Is that true?
Right. Yes.
So what are your favorite ways to cook?
My favorite ways to cook are using my crock pot. I really like to just throw it in. And now that it's winter, I feel like it's okay. We do eat chili all summer and everything, but Mother's like, you can't eat chili in the summer. Oh yeah, you can. We do.
Yeah, you can.
But it's time for that. So curries, soups, stews. Curry is something I eat. Okay. We usually eat one dish with beans in it. So
like for every meal or one night?
No, once a week. So maybe put that soup, the day 4 soup, as a beans. It would be chili or taco soup.
So this is your Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay. So
let's say we eat a beans in the crock pot. So will be like chili or something with beans in it.
Yep. And then, all right. So you've got some sort of crock pot meal over here that we have to figure out. A curry, a bean soup, the zuppa toscana. I say that right?
Yeah.
And then, would you do even more crock pot stuff, or do you like the oven? I think I read something about you liking the pressure cooker.
I do love the pressure. I go between pressure cooker and crock pot, depending on the meal.
Okay.
Let's see. I made a list over the years. I have lot of scads of lists of all the foods we like, and then they just sit there in piles. But something else we could just plug in, say what day are we talking about?
You've got 4 days in here that are, you got a crock pot meal that we don't really have, a pressure cooker, and then something completely.
Okay. Another crock pot meal. How about we throw in a stew, like Moroccan stew, or a curry. We already have curry on. It looks like I'm doing all stews. Okay.
Yeah, you're very soupy. So that's okay, but that's where you're at, and that's what you love, and that's where you're like at. So even when I heard you say you're in transition, so you make a big pot of stew and you make a big pot of soup, like to me, that's telling me that it doesn't take a lot of energy for you to make soup and stew, which is probably why you're going to these things, because
it's only one dish. It's one pot with all the veggies and everything in it. That's and maybe something on the side.
That's totally okay with the season that you're in, especially when you're like saying, you don't want to have the convenience stuff. So for you to create convenience in this moment in your life, you get to eat more soup. Otherwise, you're going to create convenience in other ways that you're telling me are not the choices that you really want to be making, right?
Right.
So I would be okay with the soup. I mean, what's going to happen here is that, yes, you make this meal plan, and after a few weeks, you're going to be like, dang, I'm sick of soup. Right. You're going to be like, your energy isn't going to be drained every week on it either. You're going to be like, yeah, I'm sick of soup, and I'm most sick of the bean soup. So I'm just going to leave all the rest of them, but I'm going to start making something else instead of bean soup. And
Okay.
I'm going to start exchanging that with like meatballs. I'm going to make meatballs that night instead and find a few different meatball recipes. But right now, soup is okay. So
soup is okay.
if you keep resisting that, it's going to keep persisting and it's going to keep bothering you and you're going to keep beating yourself up. So just let yourself eat soup for a few weeks. Eventually it'll be, you know what I'm saying, not an energy sucker like your meal plan is right now, like you're thinking about it all the time.
All the time.
So doing this will help you stop draining so much energy into it. This is what I see happening. And then being able to open up space to be like, you know what? I could actually handle like one of my Spanish recipes right now because I'm not feeling so drained about all this. I'm okay with cheese sticks and sandwiches and cereal and whatever. And I'm just sick of soup. So I'm just going to do something about that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that giving yourself permission to do what really is the easiest.
Right.
And it is.
Yeah. Creating convenience is a huge thing.
Yeah. You said meatballs. And that reminds me of like we make meatloaf in a muffin tin. We call them meatloafs.
Yep.
That's a really good meal. That's a different meal.
Yeah.
And I can always make enough for 2 meals. I make a giant batch, freeze half of them. So meatloafs. Yeah. It's actually, yeah, that's good. Meatloafs, I serve that with sweet potatoes and let's say broccoli.
Perfect.
Right. And the curry we'd serve with rice.
Okay.
Wow, that's pretty simple. And the bean soup was probably served with rice also.
Yep.
And maybe cornbread. Like if it was a chili, then we put rice and cornbread with it.
Right.
Or millet bread or whatever option we come up with.
Right.
Zuppa Toscana with crackers. Look at that. I just need one more meal.
Yeah, look at that. You just need one more.
Let's see. Some meal. Oh, more soup. Sausage and lentil soup is easy. Oh, you know what? Chicken soup. Chicken soup.
I was just going to say chicken. Like it seems like maybe some chicken would be good. Chicken soup.
A chicken soup.
All right.
And if I make a big pot of stock, then I have chicken soup for one day and stock to turn into my zuppa toscana or into something else.
Boom. See, like the energy is already like flowing through you more than it was a few minutes ago. So, all right.
Okay. So chicken soup, we'd put biscuits or crackers or say biscuits and I haven't figured out how to make them here very good yet, but we'll figure something out.
Okay.
And the Moroccan stew we'd serve with rice. That's a lot of rice.
That's all right. It's all right. So stew and rice, anything else with that one?
No.
What about
pretty
snacks?
Simple. Okay, snacks. My girls want snacks when they get home from school.
All right.
In the olden days, I made wonderful muffins. I'm not making anything like that. So what do they have? Fruit, but it's the same fruit that they had for breakfast, the same fruit that they had in their school lunches. It's not very exciting. I used to require that everyone had a piece of fruit and a glass of water every time they came home from school or something. And you know what? Let's just say snack is fruit.
Right.
They need something else, but we aren't getting that. Maybe I could even be more creative with my fruit if I just, that's the way the rule has been in our family always, is a glass of water and some fruit for snack. And we only eat 2 hours later. So it's not like they need a lot.
They're going to get all their veggies in their soup a few hours later.
They probably need more than just fruit, but
that's what's happening right now, right?
Right.
So this way, at least you can create a shopping list. So this is what happens for me. I don't even know if I have I do have mine.
What program are you using here?
This is all in Google Sheets. So when I work with people, I create it in Google Sheets so that we can share things on the internet really easy. so that if a spreadsheet overwhelms somebody, I can very easily go in there and fix something that's bugging them or whatever. So it's all in the cloud on Google. And it's just a spreadsheet that I have mastered over the last, like, honestly, 10 years. I think I've been using this thing. And the format hasn't had to change much because it works for everybody as far as getting things in order. So, yeah, the first step is really to get this. Here's my specific meal plan. And what I would do with yours for the next step is go through this and go, okay, fruits. A lot of this is like staple items. Really, everything on this list from here all the way from breakfast to your snack in the afternoon, it doesn't change. So like you create a staples list so that you're not spending energy at all. Like, how much cereal did I buy last week? Because that seemed to be enough or whatever. Like, you just have a staples list. You go through your kitchen. I literally go through my staples list and inventory my kitchen. And then I grocery shop online. So and I usually can just reorder last week's thing and then delete and add some stuff. It literally takes me like 20 minutes to grocery shop, probably 20 minutes to do my meal plan, and 20 minutes to inventory my kitchen because of the system that I have set up here. So it's like an hour a week. So we can the next step is to take this and really create a staples list for you. And then this stuff is not part of your staples list because that's going to change every week. Like, eventually this will change. And
we hope lunch changes eventually too, but it isn't.
Right. It'll all change eventually. But there's things you can do to like hack your life and really make grocery shopping and planning like a fraction of the time, and actually have a comprehensive plan that covers everything like this right in front of you. So what's landing for you right now in seeing the way that you're eating? Like, seeing it all in front of you, what kind of thoughts are coming in your head?
Well, I do not want my family eating cereal every day or cheese sticks and sandwiches every lunch. I look at those and go like, oh, really? Yeah. What if we threw in eggs one breakfast?
Right? How easy is that? Eggs are
we
so
could do
easy.
that.
And if your girls are making their own lunches, I bet they can make their own eggs.
Yes.
Yeah. Boom.
Yes. So eggs, we could take out the milk. Yeah. And we could put in some kind of meat, like a bacon, like a sausage or bacon or something. Yeah.
So then we make your staples list based on this. Like, it's nothing super fancy. It's nothing like out of the world rocket science. But the point is that we make it hard, and then it drains all this energy. And instead it's like, okay, let's just accept the way it is. This is how it is right now. And next week it gets to be better. And the week after that, it gets to be better and better and better. But if we don't diligent about it, that energy is just going to keep sucking us down and down. And the self-sabotage cycle will keep on keeping on.
Right.
Which, you know, in rewatching this and in other people watching this, like, girl, don't be so hard on yourself. Like, I think you were hard on yourself when you said cereal. You were hard on yourself when you said crackers and bread and biscuits. And girl, you're rocking it. You're rocking it because you just moved from another country, for goodness sakes. You're in major transition in your life. And this is still a priority to your family. So this is like, you're a rock star mom, and don't let your seasonal, in this season food choice make you think any less of yourself as an awesome mama.
Doesn't it feel like it'll be that way forever? I mean, that's how I like, are we really going to eat cereal forever?
No.
I'm even letting him buy cereals I don't even believe in eating.
You're not gonna. It won't be forever. It really is a season. And don't let your little naysaying mind tell you any other way, because I can tell that you care enough about your health, you care enough about your family to really to really make these choices and be on this show in the first place, right? So
I do care. I
if it
want
was,
them to eat well.
if it was going to be this way forever, you wouldn't be here. Okay. And like,
okay, that's a good point. I'm thinking about it all the time.
yeah,
I'm trying to make it not this way
yeah,
forever.
yeah. It won't be this way forever, my love. I promise.
All right.
Because you care. Because
And it's
you
okay
want
if we eat
different.
soup.
You want a different a different outcome for your family. And you say so it's going to happen.
It is.
It is.
And I'm doing a really good job at suppers.
Yeah, you are.
I hadn't realized we're not eating bad at suppers. We're eating whole, natural, home cooked suppers.
Yes. Yeah, you got this. And soup, oh my goodness. I wish my 10-year-old would eat soup the way your family eats soup. I love making soup. I'm like you. Like I actually don't love being in the kitchen. So soup, I don't love chopping either. So that's where I have soup requires a lot of chopping. So I got to get something that helps me with my chopping. But
kids, we got to teach our kids to chop.
Really
they can.
They really do. Yes, thank you for that. That's true. So, but yeah, my 10-year-old is kind of like not wanting the soup lately. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, no, it's winter. Don't make that be your thing.
Right.
So, okay. Yeah, I will. What was I going to ask? I already asked you how you felt about it getting out on paper. Don't beat yourself up because that's how you felt. So don't.
Yeah,
just like, yeah. I can't read my notes.
That's okay.
Oh, funny. Okay, so yeah, thank you again, Spring, for being on the show. We are going to keep in touch. We are going to make sure that you take the next step. You do the eggs maybe for breakfast instead of cereal, like once a week, no big deal. Really, the hardest part is remembering to pick them up at the grocery store or pick enough of them up at the grocery store. So you totally got the eggs thing. And yeah, I just want to thank you for the eggs.
We got a kitty yesterday.
Yeah, thank you for being on the show. Again, I'm Lindsay Marie. I'm the Simple Meal Designer at simplemealdesigner.com and the creator of the Rock Your Meal Plan course, which you can find out more on my website as far as that goes. And until next time, eat in peace.
Goodbye.
Bye.